Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FNF Crypto channel. My name is Ben, and today I'm going to be telling you why I think Phantasy Star Online is a metaverse application. And real quick before we get into this, I just want to highlight that these two boxes here on the lower left and the lower right, these are not actual add-ons. These are not actual parts of the actual game. They are add-ons, but I'll explain those a little bit later. And they're just basically, they're add-ons that make the gameplay a little bit more convenient for veteran players of the Phantasy Star Online genre. Now, real quickly, I'm not going to get into a full history of this game or the full gameplay, if you will. I'll just give a general brief introduction of how things worked, and yeah. This was basically Sega's first attempt at an MMORPG on the Sega Dreamcast back in 2001. It was restricted to a CD. The Dreamcast didn't have a hard drive, so making add-on content was extremely difficult. So basically, everything that was done with the game had to be doable from the CD, as well as limited internet connection capabilities back in the early 2000s for both the Japanese market and the American market, and maybe some parts of the European market. Now you can see here that we've got a bunch of people just lurking around in this server. I guess I'll just say hi and see if anyone is going to talk back to me. Looks like we have some people who are moving around instead of being AFK. People coming and going as they please in game. Looks like America is waking up and people are getting ready to play the game. This is a North American server that I am on. There's a European server, but player population is waning, for lack of a better word, so everyone just uses the American server in general. And I'll explain the lobby system a little bit better in a few more minutes. What I want to do is just give you guys a brief introduction to gameplay, and that's that. My character is a level 120 character, and the maximum level you can be is at level 200. The minimum level, of course, is level 1. There's 4 segments of difficulty, and that would be normal, hard, very hard, and ultimate. Right now we're playing on normal, which may as well be easy for a level such as mine. You've got 4 different zones here that you can play, but I'll say that the redemption of gameplay for people back in the day, and by the way, lower right hand corner of this box, it just shows all the items that have been dropped, even if you're not close enough to highlight them. Otherwise, if I didn't have this, then in the lower left hand corner I would have to be touching the item or nearly touching the item, and then it would have to, see, here we are, told Maseda. It would have to be like right next to me and very visible for me to see it in order for me to know what it is. Without this plugin, I mean. Same goes for that blue thing. It's just a piece of armor, and now here I am clearing away animals and unlocking doors that will allow me to progress a little bit further into this dungeon. And that's the gameplay in a nutshell. Just imagine doing this across, like, I guess you could say 4 different difficulty levels. Normal is for players that are at levels 1 to 20. Hard is for players that are level 20 to 40. Very hard is for levels 40 to 80. And ultimate is for levels 80 to 200. My character still has a little bit of difficulty playing in many of the zones in levels 1 to 20. Now, I want you to stop and think about the dungeon crawls that I was doing just a minute ago and how you could spice things up with, say, for example, things from other games. The general idea of a metaverse is you've got a social hub and possibly game elements, but you can also bring in elements from other games into a metaverse. I'm sorry, not just other games, but other applications. And I feel like so many companies are trying so very hard to push the idea of a metaverse instead of looking to what already exists as a metaverse. And this is probably a video for another time, but I think that once we get past the ESG narrative for crypto and blockchain, then people are going to start and realize, okay, well, maybe bigger companies will get into that. Now, we're going to get into the social aspects of what makes, I think, PSO a metaverse. I can just sit here and say, just chillin'. I can type anything I want to, in almost any language that I want to. How are you guys today? And if I want to move around in this chair, I can just hit the A button on my Xbox controller, or I can just hit the B button on my Xbox controller, and that will cancel me sitting. But what's even better is, oh, we got someone talking. Wow, so I'm not alone. Rixta down here is talking, so yeah, I just thought I would bring that up, and now we're trying to engage in conversation. There's all kinds of things that you can do to engage with others and socialize in this game. Like, you've got emotes. For example, here I am doing a backflip. I can hit Alt and pretty much anything on my keyboard, and I'll activate an emote. I'm dancing now. I'm doing a polite bow here. Alt Z. I'm doing a victory pose of some sort. Do Alt 1, another backflip, Alt Q. Shrugging, and yeah. So these are just small examples, if you will. Just like emotes that you can do. You can also do some other, like, more advanced stuff that I haven't quite taught myself how to do yet. Like, for example, chatting here. You've got a symbol chat, which means, like, I can bring these up. I think I just did this. Yeah? No, I didn't. It do be that way in the lobby. Yeah, so that guy's joking with me. I could use any one of these as, like, an emote. I could mail another user. Like, for example, I could send a message to this user. Hi there. Let me pull this up here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Hi there. How are you these days? Say hello to everyone on my YouTube channel at FNF Crypto. So I just sent that to him. But what's even better is, like, when you have all these things combined plus those actual metaverse elements. You can see that there's a counter here where everyone can just... Well, the counter here is basically just where you would go to set up a game, but I remember during special events, like special holiday events, Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's Day, whatever have you, sometimes you would see Sonic Adventure characters behind the counter here. Like, for example, you would have Sonic, Knuckles, Eggman, Shadow, just these kinds of ideas. And then you're probably thinking, well, what on earth is this? This isn't Sonic. This isn't, you know, a Sega game. And that's true. Well, actually, this game did come from Sega. Phantasy Star Online did come from Sega. And it was revolutionary for its time. But the reason why I think it fits into a metaverse category is because it takes this umbrella of a bunch of other Sonic games and it brings them all together here. Now, the reason why I brought you to Lobby 10 here is to show you guys that they're all more or less, Lobbies 1 to 10 are all more or less the same. They just have different variations, slight variations, like this Winter Wonderland theme, for example. Lobby 9 is kind of like church pain themes. I'll show you guys that real quick before we go to our next lobbies. So what I want to do now is I want to bring you to Lobby 14 and 15. 14 and 15 more or less look the same, except like they're both different colored, sort of futuristic looking soccer fields, and that's about it. So we can go now to Lobby 13. Lobbies 11, 12, and 13. By the way, this is you can set up a game here all the same as well. And I don't mean a soccer game, but yeah, that's on the cards as well. So what I'm gonna do is here, go back to this lobby over here, and yeah. So what makes this game a metaverse? Well, aside from the Sonic Adventure characters that I just mentioned, there's also music in the game that will come from other Sonic team titles. 11, 12, and 13 are all the same basic setups, if you will, for lobbies, the same basic lobby designs. But see, what makes this lobby very exciting is that you can come over here to this jukebox and change the music as you please. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me just move this menu out of the way just a little bit. I can choose music from PSO Blueburst. I don't know if I want to do that, though. So I'm going to see if I can go back a little bit. I'm going to go back. PSO Episode 3. We're going to go to other Sega games. But before we do that, I want to see what else is here in the More section. There might be something added by this server owner, as it is a custom server. Soulfeed, OST, Scrambled, not sure. Like, there might actually be some music from newer games these days. Silver Surfer OST, Tim Fallen. Okay, well, let's go back to other Sega. So here we have just generally speaking, Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 music. But I see Sonic Adventure. I think I want to listen to something that's from the Sonic Adventure 2 OST, because I really like the rock music that was in it. So here I'm going to choose Escape from the City, and we're going to play it right now. Cool stuff. And see, like, that's just it. I think this is the best example of any game that's been made to this point in time that has become a metaverse without an actual attempt at becoming a metaverse. Let that sink in for a minute. We have elements from other Sega games that are being brought into this one game. I mean, sorry, not other Sega games, but other Sonic Team games that are brought into this game that's also developed by a Sonic Team. I'm going to leave this lobby real quick, and then I'm going to come back to it so that I can change the music. So classic, such nostalgia, right? And I'm going to show you another bleeding example of a Sonic Team game that has music that is in this game. And by the way, the song that you just heard, you could pick up a CD while you're in a dungeon crawl, and then you could play that CD, and what it'll do is it will allow you to slay monsters while you are listening to that music at the same time. So here we are. Is this right? Yes, I got the right page, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down some more and see if I can find something from Labyrinth Zone Remix, Sonic the Hedgehog. Goodness gracious. Is this the second? Let's do it. Let's do it. We're doing it. Okay, no. This isn't the song that I thought it was. Sorry. We're gonna play one more song, and then we're gonna call it a night with this video. Like, I wasn't trying to go into such great detail with this, but it turns out that I was actually in many ways. There's actually a lot more emotes on your keyboard that you can do with this game than what I mentioned, but there's just too many of them for me to cover in one video, and I don't think it's worth going over. So, Golden Axe Wilderness, Metal version, unknown. Skies of Arcadia OST, The Battle with the Armada. They've got music from the Vector Man game. Do you guys remember that? That game from the 90s on the Sega Saturn? Alright, so let's play this song here. This one I vividly remember. Yes, from the Panzer Dragoon franchise. To me, this is something else. There's just no other way to say it. Like, when you have this social experience, when you have the monster slaying experience, and when you have all these other Sonic IP experiences wrapped into one, then this is what I would call a metaverse. And I don't think we need NFTs. Like, what would have been the icing on the cake is if you had something like NFTs from back in, like, 2002 or 2003, 2004, that you could actually carry out of the game and then carry into another future game title. That would be amazing. And I think that's something that's coming later, but that is a video for another time because we're already cutting into, like, 13 minutes on this one, and we have to conquer the ESG narrative in order for that to become a reality. If you guys have made it to this far in the video, I would very much so appreciate a thumbs up. I would very much so appreciate you guys subscribing if you think you'll be back. And, of course, leave me a comment in the comments below. I'll see you all in the next one.